Welcome dear students to your chapter 5 Mineral and Energy Resources. In this video we are going to deal with the topic that is petroleum, which is actually a conventional source of energy, where we already done coal in the last video and we will be continuing with the conventional source of energy sources, petroleum, natural gas and electricity in this video. Fine. So, moving towards the topic petroleum, the first thing that comes to my mind is to aware you with the questions, a type of questions that originate in the exam. So, you may note down the question in your notebooks. Crude oil reserves are limited all over the world. If people continue to extract it at the present rate, the reserves would last only for 35 to 40 years more. Explain any 3 reasons to solve this problem. Okay, so now let's get started with the petroleum. Fine. Children, coming to the petroleum, first thing that comes to my mind here is that when we talk about petroleum itself is a mineral, we can say. Okay. So we can say that petroleum is known as mineral oil. It is known as mineral oil. It is known as mineral oil because we can say that petroleum can also be called mineral oil because it is one among the minerals only. Fine. And so it is called a mineral oil. And secondly, it is even known as liquid gold. It is also known as liquid gold. Now, why it is called liquid gold? It is called liquid gold because it is very commercially important. It is very commercially important. The first point comes here is, we can say that petroleum can be known as mineral oil and liquid gold. The reason behind it is that as it is a mineral, as in the oil forms, we can call it as a mineral oil, and it is liquid gold because it is commercially very important. Fine. Coming to the next point, that is second highest energy resource after coal. Very important to remember. First used energy coal, or we can say obviously it is the first energy resource coal, but right after coal is the petroleum. Right after coal is the petroleum. Moving to the next point here, that it is also used as a fuel. Okay, it is used as a fuel. Product like oil, diesel, petrol, kerosene, etc. obtained after refining. Now, it is used as a fuel and it has even different byproducts like as oil, diesel, petrol, kerosene, etc. obtained after refining. Obtained after refining, as it provides so many products for the industries as a raw material. We can even again call it as a liquid gold. Fine. So, fourth one, acts as a nodal industry. Okay, act as a nodal industry. Now you will ask, what does nodal industry mean? Nodal industry means that it is like a base industry. Okay, nodal means base. So it is used as a raw material in various industries like synthetic, textile, fertilizers, chemical industries and lubricants as well. Okay, now the most important, Assam is the oldest oil producing state in India. This question can come as 1 mark, that which is the oldest oil producing state in India. So Assam, and in Assam we can go with Digboi. Digboi in Assam. Okay, Digboi in Assam is the major oil producing state in India. Fine. Major places, Digboi, it is in Assam. Okay, now let's move towards the occurrence. Okay, occurrence of petroleum. Fine. Now let's move towards the occurrence of petroleum. Now, how is petroleum formed generally? Now, what happens? Dead organic matter under the pressure produces gas and oil. We are aware of it, correct? Dead organic matters under the pressure, okay, earth pressure produces gas and oil, and gas and oil both comes up slowly. Gas and oil both comes up. Now, how they come up? Let's see. Okay, now natural occurrence of petroleum in India is associated with the anticlines and fault traps of tertiary rocks. Okay, this we have done in chapter 1, resources, if you remember. Fine. So it is that there are anticlines and also they are there are tertiary rocks. Now there are some traps in it, and there are some fault traps in it as well. Okay, and from those traps and cracks, oil is trapped. From those traps and faults or cracks, oil is trapped. Then the oil bearing layer is porous. Okay, it is porous, made up of limestone or sandstone, through which oil may flow out of it, as it has holes into it. Okay, so then the oil bearing layer is porous, or we can say that it is made up of porous limestone or sandstone. Actually what happens, these stones have holes, and from those pores or holes oil come up, and then it can be easily extracted. It can be found even in between the gaps that is found between the porous and non-porous rocks. Fine. So again, just going with the repetence of the same. Non-occurrence of the petroleum in India is associated with the anticlines and the fault traps. Okay, that is found in the tertiary rocks. Fine. Now these anticlines and foldings or domes region, oil is trapped in the crest of the upfold. The oil bearing layer is a porous limestone or sandstone through which oil may flow upwards, and is also found in the fault trap, that is between the porous and the non-porous rocks. Okay, fine. Moving to the next one here now. Where are they majorly found? So this question can come to you in the exam. The major producing areas of, so if it comes, see, if there are majorly three, in Assam we have the various three: Digboy, Nagarkatia and Moran Hugrijan. Fine. If it comes as in Gujarat, where is it found? It is found in Ankleshwar. In Gujarat it is found in Ankleshwar and Mumbai High. Major three are Mumbai High, Gujarat and Assam. Okay. Mumbai High is one name given there. Second is Ankleshwar, is the most important field in Gujarat. Okay. And third one, oil field. So if I tell you out of these three, you should definitely remember Assam Digboy. It is the most important. Okay, it can even come for the map marking. So if it is asked in the map, mark the area. Okay, or important oil field, you can mark Ankleshwar. You can mark Mumbai High, or you can even mark Digboy in Assam. I hope you are clear with it. Fine. Moving to the next topic here. Next topic comes is natural gas. When we talk about natural gas, the question arises that what is actually natural gas and how it appears or how it is formed. Fine. So there are some board questions that come related to this topic is, for example, natural gas is an important source of energy. Support the statement. So first thing it is that it is pollution free. Fine. So natural gas is an important source of energy because if we see today's world, so the world is full, or the earth is completely filled with pollution. So one of the way to reduce the pollution is the way of natural gas, you can say. Even it is known as clean gas. Imagine, natural gas is a clean gas resource as it gives out very little carbon and pollutants on burning. Fine. Natural gas is a clean gas. Which gas is the clean gas if question comes to you? So you can say that natural gas is a clean gas and it gives out, why it is a clean gas? Because it gives out very little carbon and pollutants on burning. Fine. Now compared to coal and petroleum products, it burns with very low emission and harmful gases and other pollutants. So it can come as a 1 mark question or 2 mark question, 3 mark questions here. Why is natural gas known as a clean energy gas or resource? Which gas is known as a clean energy resource? It can come in 1 mark or in 3 mark questions. Fine. Moving again ahead. Natural gas producing regions here. Natural gas producing regions are offshore region of Krishna Godavari basin. Okay, offshore regions of the Krishna Godavari basin. And Mumbai High, Gulf of Cambay, Andaman Nicobar Islands, other regions of sea. Andaman Nicobar is a very important one. It can come for marking in the exam as well. Fine. So natural gas is a clean energy resource. It gives out very little carbon and pollutants. It is also called the energy resource of present and future, you can say. Fine. It is also called the energy resource of the present and the future. Okay. In a way of sustain the atmosphere. Fine. Then comes Mumbai High, Gulf of Cambay, Andaman Nicobar Islands are the other regions of natural gas. Fine. Now comes where exactly it is found. So we have done this also. Where is natural gas exactly found. It is used directly and it is also used as a feeder in the petrochemical industries. Okay, it is used as a feeder in the petrochemical industries as well. Okay, now where it is used? Question comes, where is natural gas used? Fine, so it is used directly and it is also used as a feeder in the petrochemical industries. Fine, it is used directly and also used as a feeder in the petrochemical industries. As an energy, it is used directly in cooking. As an energy, it is used directly in cooking in automobiles and is a raw material used in petrochemical industries. Okay, now it is used directly and is also used as a feeder in the petrochemical industries. Okay, now it can come with a 3-mark question. Fine, so what will write? Provides energy for any petrochemicals, you can say, industries, you can say, automobiles, you can say, mainly used as a fertilizer and power industry. It is also used in fertilizer industry and power industry. Now, use of compressed natural gas for vehicles to replace liquid fuel is also increasing so as to reduce the pollution in the atmosphere. Okay, so this is important again. 3 uses of, or where is exactly natural gas used? It is used in running of automobiles, petrochemical industries, used as a fuel for cooking, used for fertilizer and power industries, used as a natural gas in vehicles to replace liquid fuel is also increasing nowadays. Okay, next point here, next topic is electricity. Okay, just tell me, can you even think of your life without electricity today? Very difficult to think, correct? So now the next point that we will discuss here is something that we see and we cannot exist without them, or without it, we can say. Let's discuss that what type of questions come on electricity. Fine. So the questions that type of questions that come in this topic, one I'll tell you here. What are the 2 main ways of generating electricity and how are they different from each other? So we'll come with the 2 different types of electricity generation here. That is, one is hydro and another is thermal. Okay, and the other can be what are the 2 major ways of generating electricity again? Fine. And in this way, see. Now first of all, electricity per capita consumption is considered as the index of the development. The more we consume it, it is the index of development in various, in all the areas, you can say. Okay, so it is generated by 2 ways. It is generated by 2 ways. One is the hydroelectricity and the other one is thermal. Hydro with the help of water, by the force of water, and thermal by the way of, thermal is by the, as name only suggests, na, that hydro is the name, is in this, it is type of electricity is produced by the use of water, and hydro is, we use heat energy to produce electricity here. Okay, in thermal we use heat energy to produce electricity here. Now, as we know that electricity has a wide variety of application, it is used so widely that sometimes it feels impossible to think of our life without it. Now, let's talk about both of them one by one. Okay, so for the hydroelectricity, when it comes to us, very important to remember Bhakra Nangal in Punjab and Damodar Valley Punjab projects generate hydroelectricity majorly in India. Okay, and thermal power electricity by coal, petroleum or natural gas. Now there are 310 thermal power plants in India. There are nearly 310 thermal power plants in India. So comes both the 2 ways to which electricity is generated, hydro and thermal. Fine. Then coming to the thermal. Now thermal power is generated by burning fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum, natural gas, correct? And thermal power stations use non-renewable fossil fuels for generating electricity here. Okay, whereas when we talk about hydro is used by is generated by flowing water. It is pollution free and commonly used all over India like Bhakra Nangal, Damodar Valley and Kopali Hadal projects, etc. Fine. So this is what we have discussed here in this topic. In this video, we have discussed the various conventional sources of energy. That is, coal we already done, petroleum done, natural gas and electricity. Fine. Moving towards the next, now in the next video we'll deal with the non-conventional sources of energy. Okay. Now thank you. Stay home, stay safe. God bless you all.